Hey guys, this is Sean. Welcome to my video. This is the second part of the Photoshop tutorial on the pen tool. So let's get started. Now in the previous part of the pen tool, we learned how to make paths. Like so. I'll make a couple of paths over here to explain further options. This should be enough. Now as you see, there are a couple of options up here. In this there are two types, paths and shapes. We'll study paths first. If you go ahead and click selection and say OK, you'll select each and every path that you've made. You can deselect this selection by holding Ctrl and pressing D. You can select your path again by clicking here. Now let's say you wanted to select only one path. Just hold the Ctrl key and select any path that you'd like. You can go up here, keep it on new selection and say OK, and you select one path. Hold the Ctrl key and select this other path, hit the selection button here, and you can add this to your selection like so. So now we have two paths selected. Let's click the third path, go to selection and subtract this from the selection. As you see, now only these four blocks out here are selected and the middle portion has been subtracted from your selection. Let's deselect by holding Ctrl and pressing D. Select this path again. Hold the second path and say intersect with selection. And you see the path that intersects over here has been selected. Let's deselect that by holding Ctrl and pressing D. Now as you can see, there are a couple of options up here as well. In order to demonstrate these options, I'm going to hit the shape button here. Now we'll select this one here and we'll click on combine shapes. And you see this part has been filled. Whereas with the same layer selected or the same path selected, I will hit subtract from shape and you see this part has been removed from shapes. I can hit intersect shape areas and the place where it intersects has been colored here. I can hit exclude overlapping shapes and everywhere it overlaps has been removed. And lastly, I can just hit merge shape components and now this has become one complete selection. So in case I hit the move tool by hitting V, I will be moving the entire shape now. That's because I hit the merge shape option. So I don't want it to be merged, so I will hit Ctrl Alt Z. And now they're individual shapes again. Now in order to demonstrate these options, I'm going to select this path here and I'm going to hit subtract from shapes. Now we'll select this one here and click bring shape to front, and you see the entire shape has come forward. Whereas if I hit bring shape to back, it will go back to this place here. You can move in one step at a time by bringing it one step forward and one step backward as well. Now how do you understand that this is one step forward and one step back is if I put it one step forward and I put it one more step forward here. If you try and hit backward, it won't go anywhere, it will just stay here. And if you hit it backward again, it will go one more step backward and it will reach here. So the difference is if I hit step forward and step forward again, we've gone two layers up. Now if I want to directly go right below, I can just hit send shape to back. I'll go right here again. That is the basic understanding of this option. For these options, I'll have to use the path selection tool. Just hit A or go here and select this and you select the path selection tool. With this you can actually select multiple paths like so. You just need to hold the shift key and go ahead and select all your paths. You go back to your pen tool, click here, and now if I hit left edges, it's going to align each and every path to the left edge of each path like so. If I hit horizontal centers, comes in the middle, right edges, top edges, vertical centers, and so on. Now in order to show you this tool, I'm going to remove all of this first. Now this rubber band option up here is my favorite option in the pen tool, because this has actually helped me understand the pen tool better. So when we generally use the pen tool, like I showed you guys in the previous video, you just click and you realize that if I try and curve my thing, I do not know where exactly my next curve is. Yes, of course, this is the last end point and we know it will curve towards this, but I really do not know where the exact curve will be. Well, that is why you have the rubber band option. And watch, I can see what my future curve is going to look like before I even make the curve. So let's say for example, I click here and I drag and I make a curve here. And now I know my next curve is going to curve this way inward. But what if I want to curve it outward? I will hold my Alt key, bring this here, and now I've created a curve going this way. And I can go here and end my selection. Now let's study the shape option up here. Before we study that, let's delete this work part here. Now this shape option basically creates shapes as you go along, like so. It will auto add and delete pixels like this. Now let's say you want to fill in some different color here. So we can go here, and before we fill in color, I'll show you guys, you can add a gradient here. You can add a custom made pattern here. I've created one of the custom made patterns in another video. I'll link that video in the description below. And you can also leave the insides blank, like so. Well, not blank, transparent. Let's go ahead and fill another color here. Red, or let's say for our female audience, let's pick purple. Alright. And now let's say we want to add strokes. Now what is the strokes? Is the edges, the lines at the end. That's the strokes. So we'll pick a nice bright color like green. And now when I increase the width of this stroke, you'll see it's more visible. And I can make it really fat. And let's just keep it here to explain the further options up here. This one here is the kind of line that you want at the edge. So you can have this one, which is like a marching ants, or this one. Or you can use further options up here and go all fancy with it. I'm going to just keep it as plain lines. Now these are the last two options to explain, as these were explained with the path option. So keep an eye over here while I make another shape. You will see it keeps changing as I make my shape. That is because it's the width and height of the shape that I just made. Now let's say I want to decrease the height. I can just hold and decrease it, and you will see my shape's width decreased. I know I just said height, but I used width, but whatever. We'll increase that, and we can decrease and increase the height as well. Like so. Now let's say you want to increase and decrease the width and height in proportion to each other. Just hit this clip here and you will clip them together, and now you see if I increase my width, my height will increase in proportion to my width. Like so. And the same way when you decrease it as well. Well, these are the basic options of the pen tool. We will be studying these other pen tools in future videos. I hope you guys learned something from this video. Make sure to hit that like button to show your support. Hit the subscribe button for further videos. Until next time, take care.